The list of incredible fusion drummers is endless. Billy Cobham, Tony Williams, Dave Weckl, but one of my personal favorites, and someone who doesn't get nearly enough recognition, is Satoshi Bandoh. You might not recognize his name at first, but if you've ever played a game of Mario Kart 8 or Gran Turismo 5, then you've definitely heard his work. His drumming has helped shape the modern sound of jazz fusion in Japan, and his story goes far beyond the world of video game music. Born on August 19, 1983 in Osaka, Japan, Satoshi Bandoh grew up surrounded by music. His parents worked as textile designers and their home was filled with records, especially jazz, which sparked his early interest. At the age of 4, his mom enrolled him in Yamaha music lessons. He started out on the Electone, a Yamaha electronic organ that was very popular in Japan. But it wasn't until he was 8 that he picked up the drums, drawn in both by how fun they were to play and the cool factors surrounding the instrument. Throughout elementary school, Bandoh continued taking drum lessons, and one of his early teachers happened to be a fan of the Japanese fusion band T-Square. During class, he would have his students play the band's music and even took Bandoh and other students to see them live in concert, which was when Bandoh became a T-Square fan. As he grew older, Bandoh studied under some of Japan's leading drummers, including Katsuhiko Kawase and Kozo Suganuma, as well as California native Neil Sawson. With dreams of becoming a professional drummer, Bandoh eventually moved to Tokyo and soon got his big break. After consulting Suganuma about performing at live houses or Japanese live music clubs, Suganuma recommended him to a live house owner. And in the summer of 2004, 20-year-old Bandoh landed a live session at Tokyo's Roppongi Pit Inn. Among the members of that session was Keizo Kawano, T-Square's keyboardist and pianist at the time. As a lifelong fan of the band, Bandoh was determined to make an impression, practicing relentlessly leading up to the performance. His efforts paid off, and about a week after the session, Kawano called Bandoh directly, asking him to fill in as a support member for an upcoming T-Square TV appearance. Bandoh agreed without hesitation, and during the program's rehearsal, he impressed the band with his outstanding technique, playing any song from their discography that members called out, all without any sheet music. The members took a liking to Bandoh, which led to his involvement as a supporting member during T-Square's Groove Globe tour, marking a major turning point in his musical career. If you're a fan of Cassiopeia or Masayoshi Takanaka, then you've almost certainly heard of T-Square. They debuted in 1978 as The Square and have since become one of the most influential jazz fusion bands from Japan. They even performed alongside Cassiopeia in the now iconic Cassiopeia vs. T-Square concert. And their influence goes far beyond fusion. In fact, their 1984 track, Sister Marian, was one of the main inspirations behind the original Super Mario Bros. Theme. Over the decades, T-Square has gone through many lineup changes, swapping players and bringing in new members. After serving as a support member, Satoshi Bandoh officially joined T-Square at the end of 2004, taking over from Hiroyuki Noritake, who had been the band's drummer since 1985. At just 21 years old, Bandoh had joined his dream band. Despite being one of the youngest members, his skills as a drummer and a composer quickly made him an indispensable asset to the band and its signature square-like sound. On April 20th, 2005, Bandoh made his recording debut with T-Square on the album Passion Flower, composing 2 tracks, Cloudburst and Let Your Love Flow. Listening to his work, you can hear just how naturally Bandoh writes in the fusion style. That same year in November, Bandoh also performed at Zildjian Day in the Pacifico, Yokohama, alongside Suganuma and world-renowned drummer Simon Phillips, who personally praised Bandoh's playing. And for good reason. It's one thing to hear Bandoh's drumming on recordings, but it's when Bandoh takes center stage for his live solos that his full mastery of the kit really shines, showcasing his rhythmic precision and tempo control. Listening to T-Square's music from this era and onward, Bandoh's drumming stands out for its effortless, almost liquid flow. He glides across the drum kit with smooth fills and crisp accents, never overplaying, yet always driving the music forward. And his grooves sit deep in the pocket, locking in with the band while keeping a subtle forward momentum that makes the music feel alive. And it wasn't just his drumming. Thanks to the musical foundations he developed early on, especially a sense of pitch and harmony, Bandoh emerged as a serious composer and arranger. His creative role in the band continued to grow, and on their 2007 album 33, his compositional voice became even more prominent. Tracks like Flying Colors further demonstrate his ability to write memorable, high-energy fusion that fits seamlessly into T-Square's discography. And on their 2015 album Paradise, Bandoh's writing stands out even more across a wide range of moods, from the funky groove of Mystic Island to the upbeat fusion of Vivid. And the smoother laid-back Night Cruise. With the Bandoh era, the band also evolved creatively. In a 2010 interview with pianist Mimi Yamamoto, T-Square members Masahiro Ando and Keizo Kawano shared how Bandoh helped push the band toward a more collaborative writing process. Instead of relying on polished demo tapes, the band leaned more toward developing songs together live in the studio, a shift that helped refresh their sound and connect with a new generation of listeners. That collaborative approach culminated in the 2010 album Jikan Ryoko, or Time Travel. According to Ando, when the band needed big, memorable grabber tracks reminiscent of their classic era, they specifically turned to their two youngest members, Kawano and Bandoh, to write them, further cementing the band's trust in Bandoh. In that same interview, Ando described Bandoh as very talented with strong musical ideas, praising how naturally he wrote in the T-Square style while still adding his own personality. That same year, Bandoh was commissioned to work on the soundtrack for the PlayStation 3 video game Gran Turismo 5. Now, jazz fusion has long been a core part of the Gran Turismo series, and this connection runs deep in Japan's motorsports culture. In fact, T-Square's early albums were closely associated with Japan's F1 scene. Their hit song Truth was used as the theme song for Fuji TV's F1 Grand Prix, and the band even held concerts at F1 events. So bringing in the drummer of a band rooted in Japan's racing culture felt like a perfect fit. Bandoh is credited on 10 tracks, including Slow on the Uptake, Dark Line, and Afterglow, which have all become fan favorites. His smooth arranging and flowing compositions make it easy to hear why. Just take a listen to Afterglow. By this point, Bandoh wasn't just a band drummer. He was becoming a go-to musician for high-profile projects. Beyond touring and recording with T-Square, he's also collaborated with countless other artists, including recording for Dimension, Grace Mahia, and Takashi Mazuzaki, and touring as a support member for The Gospelers, Daichi Miura, Shiny, Dreams Come True, and Generations from Exile Tribe. Bandoh also developed a career as a solo artist. He released his debut album Happy Life in 2011, followed by Let's Move in 2013, both albums entirely composed and arranged by Bandoh himself. And just a year later, in 2014, Bandoh would take part in another major project, one that would bring his drumming to millions of players around the world. In 2014, Nintendo released one of their most popular games of all time, Mario Kart 8, widely praised not just for its gameplay and presentation, but also for its bold, live soundtrack. Funk fusion, Latin jazz, big band rock, Mario Kart 8 had it all, and its music was brought to life by the Mario Kart Band, a lineup of professional jazz musicians predominantly from Japan, including members of Dimension, along with a guest appearance from one of the game's composers, Kazumi Totaka, and the band's drummer, Satoshi Bandoh. Given his versatility across jazz styles, Bandoh is a natural fit for the band. His drumming is heard throughout the entire game, from the iconic intro to fan-favorite courses like Dolphin Shoals and Mount Wario. He also performed on tracks originally released as DLC, including Animal Crossing, Big Blue, and Super Bell Subway. Not all of the DLC tracks featured Bandoh though. Several tracks, including Dragon Driftway, Mute City, and Hyrule Circuit, were performed by Hiroyuki Noritake. And if that name sounds familiar, that's because Noritake was T-Square's drummer before Bandoh took over. The fact that both the former and current T-Square drummers contributed to the same soundtrack is a pretty cool full circle moment. When the game was re-released on the Switch as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in 2017, the game introduced new music through an updated battle mode and later through the Booster Course DLC. Nintendo didn't release individual performer credits for the new music, so it's unclear exactly who played on which tracks. However, given Bandoh's central role in the original game, it's very likely that he contributed to at least some of the new recordings, though there's no official confirmation. And in 2025, Nintendo released the next entry in the series, Mario Kart World. Featuring over 200 brand new arrangements, the soundtrack once again returned to live band recordings across an even wider range of genres. While the only listed performer credit is the returning Mario Kart band, it's likely Bandoh was involved again, given his central role in Mario Kart 8. But again, there's no official confirmation. Regardless, Satoshi Bandoh was a key player in shaping the rhythmic backbone of the modern Mario Kart sound. His energetic, groove-infused drumming continues to drive the music heard by countless players worldwide. So what's Satoshi Bandoh up to nowadays? Well, he's actually still playing with T-Square, continuing a run that now spans over 20 years. And the band remains as active as ever, having celebrated their 45th anniversary in 2023. T-Square continues to release albums and perform live. Most recently, they toured following their newest album, Turn the Page, released on June 5th, 2025, proof that their influence and popularity are still going strong. With this new album came a refreshed lineup, with 2 new members selected through a general audition process. The idea to open auditions to the public came from the band's staff, and Bandoh supported the decision, seeking out younger musicians rather than simply calling in seasoned professionals. Having joined the band as a young amateur himself, Bandoh wanted to prioritize finding members who would truly fit the group's style and chemistry, not just technically skilled players. Today, Bandoh remains one of the core pillars of the band, alongside longtime Iwi player and saxophonist Takeshi Ito. Beyond T-Square, Bandoh has continued to build his career as a solo artist and collaborator. He released his 3rd solo album, Step by Step, in 2016, which was partly recorded over in Southern California and features prominent jazz musicians from LA, including Eric Marienthal, Michael Landau, Michael Thompson, and Philip Sayce. As of 2025, this remains his most recent solo project. He's also stayed active as a session musician, most recently recording with Dimension for their 2024 album, 34. And of course, he continues to perform solo shows and support other artists, most recently touring with Generations from Exile Tribe in 2025, and all while remaining very active on social media. Decades into his career, Bandoh has solidified his place as one of Japan's most prominent fusion drummers. As one of my personal favorites, I hope his name reaches beyond Japanese audiences and even beyond the jazz fusion scene itself. He may not be a household name, but his drumming lives on in the memories of millions. Whether it's on a concert stage with T-Square or behind the drum kit for Mario Kart 8, his sound continues to define generations of music fans, whether they realize it or not. If nothing else, I hope this video helped you appreciate his work a little more and maybe even inspired you to explore the musicians behind your favorite soundtracks. And thanks for watching.